Imagine a world where books were so rare that only the wealthiest individuals or religious leaders could own them. Where knowledge was passed down orally, or meticulously copied by hand, letter by letter, page by page. That was the reality before the 15th century. But then, one invention changed everything: the printing press. It was more than just a machine. It was the spark that ignited the spread of knowledge, fueling the Renaissance, the Reformation, and the modern era. Today, we'll uncover the fascinating history of the printing press and how it transformed the world forever. Before the printing press, producing books was an exhausting and expensive process. Each book had to be copied by hand, often taking months or even years to complete. The people responsible for this painstaking work were called scribes, typically monks who spent their lives transcribing religious texts in monasteries. But because this process was so slow, books were rare and extremely costly. For example, in the 14th century, a single Bible could cost as much as a small house. Only the elite, kings, nobles, and high-ranking clergy, had access to written knowledge. Meanwhile, the majority of the population remained illiterate, with no way to educate themselves beyond word of mouth. Because of this, knowledge was controlled by a select few. Religion, law, science, and philosophy were dictated by those in power. But all of that was about to change, thanks to one man. In the 1440s, a German inventor named Johannes Gutenberg revolutionized the way humans shared information. He developed the world's first practical movable type printing press, a device that allowed books to be printed quickly, efficiently, and at a fraction of the cost. But what made his invention so special? It wasn't just a printing machine, it was an entirely new system of mass production. Before this, block printing had existed in China and Korea, but Gutenberg's design made it faster and more practical for widespread use in Europe. His movable type printing press used small metal letters that could be arranged, reused, and rearranged to form words. Once inked, they could press thousands of pages without the need for hand copying. This changed everything. With this technology, books could be produced in weeks instead of years. And soon, a new era of knowledge sharing had begun. In 1455, Gutenberg completed his masterpiece, the Gutenberg Bible. It was the first major book ever printed using movable type. The impact was immediate. For the first time in history, books were no longer limited to a privileged few. The ability to mass-produce literature meant that knowledge could now spread faster than ever before. Within just a few decades, the number of books in existence increased dramatically. By the early 1500s, printing presses had spread across Europe, producing everything from religious texts to scientific discoveries and political ideas. The printing press didn't just make books more available, it changed history itself. Take the Renaissance, for example. Suddenly, ancient Greek and Roman texts that had been lost for centuries could be reproduced and studied by scholars across Europe. Or consider the Protestant Reformation. In 1517, Martin Luther nailed his famous 95 Theses to a church door in Germany, criticizing the Catholic Church. But it was the printing press that spread his ideas like wildfire, leading to religious reforms that changed Europe forever. And let's not forget science. Galileo, Copernicus, and Newton were able to share their groundbreaking discoveries thanks to the printing press. Without it, many of their revolutionary ideas might have remained hidden or suppressed. Over time, the printing press only got better. By the 19th century, the steam-powered printing press allowed for even faster production. Newspapers became widespread, literacy rates skyrocketed, and public education became a reality for more people than ever before. Fast forward to today, and we have digital printing, e-books, and the internet, all descendants of Gutenberg's original invention. But no matter how advanced technology becomes, the printing press will always be remembered as the machine that sparked the knowledge revolution. Johannes Gutenberg's printing press didn't just make books easier to produce, it reshaped human history. It broke down barriers to knowledge, fueled revolutions, and gave power to the people through the written word. What do you think was the most important impact of the printing press? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more history content.